Let's talk about the WNBA. They have made an offer that the players probably best not refuse at this point. It is a sizable offer. It is a step up from what was already a very lucrative offer that was, roughly almost 4 times what they're getting paid right now. Something right around, it was around $1 million a year on a supermax. Some came out and said it was $850,000. The WNBA is stepping up their game now.
Here is your rewritten version. More suspenseful, more dramatic, more YouTube ready, without changing your meaning. The WNBA just dropped a brand new collective bargaining agreement proposal, and it's unlike anything the league has ever put on the table. Salaries aren't just rising, they're exploding. Maximum contracts? They're officially breaking the 7-figure barrier for the first time in league history. Yes, you heard that right. Caitlin Clark could soon be earning over $1 million a year from WNBA salary alone. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. A catch that already has players divided, frustrated, and speaking out. Because this deal isn't just a raise. It's a power shift. Could reshape women's basketball forever. Before we go deeper, drop a comment below. Should WNBA players accept this historic payday, or hold out for something even bigger? Real revenue sharing. Here's what shocked everyone. The league unveiled a CBA proposal that would fundamentally rewrite the financial foundation of the sport. This isn't a tweak. This isn't a slight increase. This is a full-blown transformation of how WNBA money works. For the first time in league history, the maximum salary would surpass $1 million. Let that sink in. A WNBA player making over $1 million per year. Asterisk from the league itself asterisk was unthinkable just a few years ago. Now, it's officially on the negotiating table. This is historic. This is groundbreaking. And this is only the beginning. If you want, I can continue the next section with the same tone. The catch, the controversy, the backlash, or how this impacts Caitlin Clark and Project B.
Now officially over $1 million. Now, part of this is, and this is going to be interesting because $1 million or over $1 million sound a lot better 6 weeks ago before the emergence of Project B and actual WNBA players signing with Project B for what has already been, it's already been revealed, a minimum of $2 million. And I can tell you right now, Gumake, Alyssa Thomas, and Jonquel Jones got more than $2 million.
Here is your rewritten segment. Same meaning, same information, but far more suspenseful, dramatic, and YouTube ready. But before anyone starts celebrating, we need to slow down. Because buried inside this historic offer is a lot more than meets the eye. The previous collective bargaining agreement was set to expire on October 31st, 2025. And the league barely avoided a major crisis by locking in a 30-day extension to November 30th. That gave both sides a tight window, a pressure-packed countdown, to figure out what the future of the WNBA would look like. And during that time, the WNBA crafted a proposal they clearly hoped players would accept without hesitation. But once you actually break it down, the details are massive. According to reports, the new CBA would kick in for the 2026 season, and it comes with staggering salary increases. Asterisk rookies and players with 0 to 2 years of experience minimum salary. $220,000 that alone is a game changer compared to the league's previous standards. Asterisk players with 3+ years of experience minimum salary. Over $460,000 that's not a raise. That's a complete overhaul of what veteran compensation looks like in the WNBA. These aren't small bumps. These are life-altering numbers for the players who don't usually make headlines, the players who aren't superstars, the players who have spent years earning salaries that were barely competitive with international leagues. And then comes the number that shocked everyone. The maximum salary would exceed $1 million asterisk, and multiple players per roster could earn that maximum. Asterisk. That part is revolutionary. In most professional leagues, the max contract is reserved for 1 or 2 stars. But in this proposal, entire super teams could be built with multiple million-dollar players. That means real parity, real competition, real roster-building flexibility. That means the WNBA finally stepping into the kind of financial structure fans have demanded
in the league. Exciting news just recently about the new offer from the WNBA to the players with a max salary of $1.1 million that goes up each year of the contract, plus a higher league minimum at $220,000. So all really, really good news. Things are trending up in that way. Now, we still have one major problem, at least one major problem. And in all actuality, this is what is stopping the deal from getting done right here. It's in black and white. You can see it. This is what is stopping the deal from getting done.
Here's your rewritten paragraph. Same length, same meaning, but packed with tension, emotion, and that WNBA fan energy you want. But here's where everything suddenly gets complicated. The WNBPA, the players' union, isn't just looking at the salary bumps and calling it a victory. They've drawn a line in the sand with demands that go far beyond pay. They want charter flights, meaning no more players squeezed into commercial travel, no more delays, no more back-to-back games after sitting in airports. They want stronger benefits, expanded roster sizes, and a revamped prioritization rule that finally gives players real control over their schedules and their lives. These aren't luxuries, these are core quality of life demands, the kind of issues that hit deeper than money and reshape what it actually means to be a professional athlete in the WNBA. If you want me to continue with the next paragraph, just paste it.
We know all of that stuff. This is where we got to get to. The November 19th update. Okay? This is what is stopping the agreement.
Here is your rewritten version. Same meaning, same length, but sharper, more dramatic, and built for narration. However, the union's biggest concern, the one everything hinges on, is a true revenue-sharing model tied directly to league growth. This is the battle line. The players don't just want fixed raises. They want their salaries to rise in proportion to the money they generate. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that logic. If the league's profits explode, shouldn't the athletes responsible for creating that value share in the success? That's the core issue. Right now, under the current CBA, salaries increase by a tiny, automatic 3% each year. That's it. Even if the league doubles its revenue, the players still get only 3%. That's why the union is pushing back. Players currently receive only about 9% of total league revenue. Compare that with the NBA, where athletes receive 49–51%. The difference is staggering. The WNBPA believes women's players deserve a revenue share that reflects their impact, not a symbolic number baked into an outdated system. But according to reports, the league's new proposal keeps that fixed-rate structure. Yes, it offers groundbreaking raises. Yes, it pushes max salaries over $1 million. But the increases are predetermined, locked in, and not tied to how much the league actually grows. It's basically the league saying, here's your historic money, but only on our terms. Meanwhile, the union is holding firm. We'll take the raise, but we want a share of the growth too. We deserve a piece of the pie we create. Want me to continue the next paragraph? Here is your rewritten version. Same meaning, same length, but elevated, dramatic, and built for YouTube narration. This creates a brutal dilemma for the players. On one side, the salary increases are undeniably historic. Tripling the minimum salary for younger players is life-changing. Raising the maximum salary more than fivefold is enormous. These numbers don't just improve lives. They create true generational wealth for athletes who have spent years earning a fraction of what they deserve. But on the other side, turning down the offer to fight for revenue sharing carries real risk. What if negotiations stall? What if the league digs in? The stakes couldn't be higher. Without a new CBA, the WNBA cannot run the expansion draft, cannot handle free agency. It cannot conduct the 2026 draft. Every one of those operations is essential to keeping the league functioning. Without them, the season simply cannot move forward. Both sides are under intense pressure. The clock is ticking toward the November 30th deadline. If that day arrives with no agreement, the league faces the threat of a work stoppage. Players could strike. Training camps could be delayed. The 2026 season could be pushed back or disrupted entirely. Neither side wants that outcome, but both sides are absolutely using the pressure as negotiating leverage. From the league's perspective, we're offering historic raises. You should take them. From the union's perspective, raises aren't enough. We deserve a share of league growth. What makes the timing even more explosive is what's happening outside the WNBA. Alyssa Thomas just signed with Project B, the Saudi-backed women's league that's reshaping the global basketball market. Nneka Ogwumike has joined as well. Those signings sent a message. Players now have real alternatives. Project B is offering high salaries, equity, and a full November-April season, effectively replacing the need to play overseas. Instead of grinding in RU, here is your rewritten version. Same meaning, same ideas, but far more suspenseful, emotional, and dramatic, crafted for a YouTube script and flowing smoothly from your previous paragraph. But this is where everything turns tense. The WNBPA isn't just chasing bigger checks. They want control, respect, and a professional standard that matches the league's skyrocketing influence. Charter flights, expanded rosters, real benefits, and a prioritization rule that stops punishing players for having overseas commitments. These aren't luxury requests. These are quality-of-life demands that determine whether a player feels like an elite athlete or an afterthought. Yet even with all that on the table, the union's number one priority is bigger than perks. They want a true revenue-sharing model tied directly to league growth because fixed raises, like the current 3% annual bump, don't move when the league explodes in popularity. Right now, players receive about 9% of total revenue. Compare that to the NBA's 49% to 51%. The gap is massive. So when the WNBA's new offer boosts salaries but refuses to link pay to revenue growth, the message is clear. Here's your historic raise, but the upside belongs to us. And the union is pushing back, saying, thanks for the money, but we're done being cut out of the pie we helped bake. That's where Caitlin Clark complicates everything. She's the engine behind the league's surge, the ratings spike, the ticket rush, the sponsorship flood. The WNBA knows this. They know that if Clark isn't satisfied with the system, she could become the loudest voice demanding revenue sharing, or worse, she could influence teammates, rookies, and veterans to stand firmer than ever. The timing of this proposal proves it. The league is trying to lock in stability while Clark, Alyssa Ree, and a new wave of stars have the WNBA riding unprecedented momentum. But if the two sides can't agree soon, that momentum could stall. A stalemate could disrupt the 202.